SABC News reporter Kylie Khumalo is at the Waterkloof Air Force Base in Pretoria, and that's where the SANDF soldiers have indeed landed, and he now joins us live from that Air Force Base. Kylie, thank you so much for your time this evening. I mean, we were just speaking earlier on now to the Rear Admiral there from the SANDF, and it says, basically saying that it is a time for jubilation, particularly for those soldiers who have now officially landed.
Well, certainly, Mbali, it is a culmination point. We know that it's been quite a monumentally tough process for them, really just traversing that area from Sake to Goma, reaching Rwanda and going all the way to Chato, which has been an assembly point, essentially. And of course, a very monumental task in the sense that they had to come with their equipment as well. But to really reflect on the importance of today, we're joined by the Minister spokesperson here with us. So, Ms. Kwaka, once again, thank you so much for your time and welcome to SABC. So, first of all, I mean, let's talk about the importance of today. Obviously, there's a sigh of relief that they are finally back home, the first batch of the SANDF members.
Yes, indeed, Kayan. Good evening to the viewers at home. Like you said, it's a culmination since the decision of a phase withdrawal was taken and all the processes that ensued, negotiations, and now we've been waiting in anticipation, and finally the troops are home. We're excited, they're excited, and the families are excited.
And of course, Aneka, we know that this has been preceded by some challenges, logistical issues. This was supposed to be in Bloemfontein, but suddenly it's right here in Pretoria. Maybe just tell us about those hurdles that you had to overcome to reach this point.
Yes, can you remember that this is a semi-DRC, so we are led by SADC in terms of all the logistics of ensuring that the troops do arrive home safely. So we might have wishes in terms of what needs to be done. So there were a number of processes. The first was to make sure that the chiefs of the different countries, especially the sending troops, had to meet and agree in terms of the routes and all that. We kept you abreast in terms of those details. And now in terms of the logistics, today the minister landed at 7 o'clock because we're all expecting that the troops will arrive at 12, but only to be, receive the information from the logistics people that are we're working in Tanzania, that there is a challenge that the big craft that has now landed in Waterkloof is not able to land in Blom as anticipated. So we needed to think on our feet to say, what is it that we need to do? Hence, you are seeing us now here at Waterkloof as opposed to the initial plan in Bloemfontein.
Sounds like an incredibly delicate process, Anika. Now take us through to what's going to happen. I mean, we saw the troops just walking in. I mean, there was a sense of relief, jubilation almost, where they're really saying, finally, we're back home. Are they going to receive psychosocial support in terms of the way forward? Take us through to that.
Yes, indeed. We'll now go through a process of demobilization, and it does include psychosocial support. This will be in Bloemfontein. It's not going to be that long, probably about 4 days, because we do want the soldiers to go back to their families. But the process must take place, including reintegrating them to their different units. And once the generals are happy, then we can send them home to meet with their families, but we'll continue to provide them with support.
And just before I let you go, Anika, let's get our figures right. So are we still standing to 249 for the first batch?
Yes, the first batch tonight that we have welcomed is 249. We had over 2,400 troops in Eastern DRC. So we're expecting that in the next 10 days, they will be arriving in batches up until the last batch arrives.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, Mbali, during the course of the day, we're hoping to have also an interaction with the Minister of Defense and military veterans in South Africa. So this is the aircraft that has been used by SANDF. And of course, it's been quite a process from those moments in Mbali where the leaders from the SADC region, East Africa, they were meeting to make sure that they allow the diplomatic process to take place for the negotiations, for the warring factions to get together, as opposed to really just using the military solution. And of course, the South African National Defence Force has been at pains to say that this is not a sign of weakness. For them, they are prioritizing a political solution. So Tanzania, a very important country as well. As you know, that there were parts of semi-DRC, South Africa, Malawi and Tanzania. So an absolutely important moment now as the first batch of soldiers, they've arrived here, and we know that Mbali, this has been preceded by a series of talks, even at times with the M23 and many other groupings as well. So this is, has been quite a very tough journey, but quite a sense of relief based on the observations that we're seeing here at the Air Force Base. So with that, back to you in studio.
All right, thank you so much, Kailihle. That's Kailihle Khumalo, the SABC news reporter, just giving us the latest update and confirming those figures for us. And now we do understand, confirmed there, 249 SANDF soldiers have indeed landed back in South Africa. And that's the first group of soldiers who have landed from the DRC, traveling through Tanzania. At the same time, hearing there from the Defence Ministry spokesperson, also confirming that there are at least 2,400 of those troops, and they will be traveling over the next 10 days, making their way back to South Africa.